your mighty fortress protect you from the Audra Colossus?
Much better than wooden huts, my friend.
You cannot stand against such a force. You can only flee it.
Here's where I do the ritual. Right there, under the statue of Gone. Nothing like a homecoming to make a girl remember. Sometimes, I wonder if my brethren don't think I got black ichor running in my veins. Why are you so fine to me, Watcher? Makes me think untoward things. Gives me notions I don't need to be getting. I can't risk straying when I got a duty to Gone. All right. Yeah, I'm ready. I've done this before, but never with such a full lantern. You may want to stand back. Don't know if I feel cleaner, but I feel something. Blessed, for sure. Let's just hope it lasts. Because my lantern feels as heavy as ever. Full to brimming with essence. Like dark water spilling over my mind. I was born to reap souls and lead them to the light. Now with Aethys dead, and these dire visions, I think I need to shield them from a hell gone dark. But the more I gather, the more my mind turns to tatters. That ain't gonna happen. You'd ask me to turn my back on my god? Why do you think the god of rebirth held an aspect of death within him? You can't have life without dying. There ain't no beginning without a prior ending. Ain't no day without night, no spring without fall. You can't grow crops if you never harvest for seeds. Aethys is dead, and Gone is the death before life. He's the ripeness before the fall. All right, I'll be right behind you.
Yes.
Come closer to the altar. Come inside. The temple welcomes all to worship, most especially you. I ask only for no talking. Not until we pay our respects to Bereth, to Rikuhu. Let us pray. Deity of life and death, the endless devourer who encompasses all existence, hear this prayer, this voice chiming. I beseech you, Kohopa and Tangaloa, to ready this shell for sucking. Purify my soul in preparation for the coming of the next cycle. Digest all of my devotion. Swallow my sorrows, even the smallest swell, so I can be spit on the morrow. And Rikuhu, Bereth, my god and goddess both, the eels that churn in ceaseless cycle, the new and the next and... All right. I will address your inquiries best as I can. So ask. The same. Your word, Bereth. Our word, Rikuhu. We worship the twin deal, the cyclic connection of the overworld and the underworld. Life and death. Life is Kohopa, and Tangaloa is death. Born starving, they devoured all living things, swelling larger each. When they'd swallowed all of existence, they tried to eat each other next. Now all things pass through their entrails. The end of one enters the mouth of the next, from the underworld to the overworld and back. Again and again. End of the turn. I'm nearing it. Been working hard, preparing for weeks. You know, to die. But first, I've got to leave guidance for my apprentice, the next in the cycle. Chosen to lead. Been wasting away for months. Can't say it's been easy, dying so soon. I thought about stopping a few times.
Yes.
Maybe you can see. I'm no death godlike. Bereth bestowed not one in my generation with a chime. Not the next, neither. A flawed messenger like me can't open the crypts. So my best chance is to die. Liturgies, instructions for ritual preparations, when and how, sermons, some histories too. All of this, it's our knowledge has gleaned through centuries of service. Now, I've got to leave it all behind for the next disciple. Under the temple, carved in the mountain's caverns, lies an extraordinary maze of catacombs. So I've read. They're the hanging sepulchres, burial place for ancient Wana chieftains. The bodies are protected by Bereth's best, roaming, always Plus, the way's sealed by the deity itself. Better. The timing's getting tighter. And there is one thing before the end. Something only one touch by Bereth can do. I'd best not let this chance pass. There's a sacred text. The eulogy to Isaiah. It's been buried in the catacombs beneath the temple for centuries, next to his champions. I need it. Of course, the tombs, they only open to the dead, for those bearing Bereth's chime. It never was added to the tomes, but it holds the final clues for my death. It's my best chance. I prayed for decades, night to day and night again. Now, here you are, just in time. Means Bereth sent you to see to my success.
Nothing seems to be...
You're my best chance. Or only, maybe. Take the coil. It'll open the crypts. Bring me Isaiah's eulogy, and I'll teach you all I know of Bereth's arcana.
Thank you, my son.
Quit solace, sister. Aye, 'twas a harsh choice, but I made it. Was willing to serve my deity by becoming Whitta hunted in her name. The weapon canna be allowed out in Aora. Needed to ward it for all time. But I canna keep it from the undead if I'm not undead myself. Think you're deserving, do you? But in what way should I trust you now? Then you'll die now!
That was about as useful as a bump on a pickle.
Dance to those who are false republics!
Take this.
Another attack, Cap.
You see that, Ishi?
Be a rare tick from feeding the fishes.
I'd be glad to.
Flogging a figurehead. Futile.
Yes. Happily.
Ahoy, Captain. What can I do you for? Ask away, Cap. Aye, that I do, Cap. Raiding seafaring vessels ain't squeamish. Ask away, Cap. Raiding seafaring vessel ain't squeamish. Ask away, Cap. Formerly the Oh, without more than that. Ask away, Cap. Aye, aye, Cap. Ask away, Cap. Aye, that I do, Cap. Aye, aye, Cap. Some seamen go dizzy as duck soup out here, spouting out the sea, speaking to 'em. I've been all over these islands, and the sea don't speak. Waves, though.
Coming along well, is it? I never went yet, but I will after I die. Give them here. Truly, you are Bereth's champion, yet you will not die soon. There is work ahead for you. I set these aside for you. Old keepsakes from another time. Bereth holds you close, perhaps in helping you. All right. I will address your inquiries best as I can. So ask. I'll tell you what I can. He's no Juana, nor a death godlike neither, but he was a high priest of Bereth. His hair was a Diran, a hunter, chasing the undead 200 years ago. Read somewhere, one tome, he sailed to the Deadfire for a weapon, abhorrent to Bereth. Said the blade held a power most fearful. Isair fought hard for it, won the blade, but suffered grievous wound. Bereth kept him alive till he could make it to the temple's catacombs. His champions were the ones who wrote his eulogy. Later, they were buried in the sepulchres too. All right.
So scary.
Coming along well. I never went yet, but I'll give them here. Truly, you are Bereth's champion. Bereth holds you close, perhaps in helping you. All right, I will address your inquiries. I'll tell you what I can. He's no Juana, nor a death godlike neither, but he was a high priest of Bereth. His hair was a Diran, a hunter, chasing the undead 200 years ago. Read somewhere, one tome, he sailed to the Deadfire for a weapon, abhorrent to Bereth. Said the blade held a power most fearful. Isair fought hard for it, won the blade, but suffered grievous wounds. Bereth kept him alive till he could make it to the temple's catacombs. His champions were the ones who wrote his eulogy. Later, they were buried in the sepulchres too. Don't know. Did hear he was slain with a coveted blade. The S-talk was an affront to Bereth. That I did read. Isair wanted to guard it with his soul and his always.
Yes.
You've got to go outside, on the lower walkway. Doors sealed up tight, though. Priests before me, all death godlikes, could open it. Door requires a coil, resonating with Bereth's chime. But I haven't met a death godlike in my time. They're from the long-forgotten time, when there was only Juana living in the mountain. They got carved in even before the temple sprung up. Before there was Nekataka or a queen. They're well guarded, because not all of Barath's dead like the rest in their graves. All right. I will address your inquiries best as I can. So the dead, with their souls, they roam still. The ones who were chosen by Barath. Not everyone's born so blessed. Sometimes, instead, you've got to die for it. The same. Your word, Barath. Our word, Rikuhu. Life is when they now all things pass through their entrails. The end of one enters the mouth of the next, from the underworld to the overworld and back, again and again.
Salt swaggers in with a ship's wheels sticking out of his pants.
It's driving him nuts?
New swabby be asking her first mate, do galleys like this be sinking often?
Usually it's just the ones. Even Ishi knows that one.
Quit solace, sister. Aye, 'twas a harsh choice, but I made it. Was willing to serve my day. The weapon canna be allowed out in Aora. Needed to ward it for all time. But I canna keep it from the undead if I'm not undead myself. Aye, or surely I wouldn't be standing. Think you're deserving, do you? But in what way should I trust you now? Aye, the weapon canna be allowed out in Aora. Need... Then you'll die!
The season of harvest.
Sirmas mitum.
I'll be hitting the water. Mo, Ixi, Ona. Right between the eyes. All things worth and raw. That was about as useful as a bump on a pickle.
Lavaru beyond seek. Death to those who oppose the Republic.
Horrible.
Was that necessary?
Mo, Ixi, Ona.
Lavaru
Hitting the water.
seek.
Mo, Ixi, Ona.
As you wish.
I reap what I sow. Mo, Ixi, Ona.
Certainly.
Ahoy, Captain. What can I do you for? Ask away, Cap. Formerly the Principe San Patrol, without a hope. More than that. Ask away, Cap. Raiding seafaring vessels ain't squeamish about. Ask away, Cap. Aye, that I do, Cap. Aye, aye, Cap. Worst thing about ciphering be the knowing what people be thinking. Well,
Bleeding me dry. All I needed was a few damn components. What? I haven't the time necessary to illuminate you. Be on your way. Oh, not this again.
Can't get a clean hit.
I'll be more than half hands. Another attack, Cap.
Take this.
Right between the eyes.
Candles and bombs.
Didn't take you for the romantic type, Seraphin.
A tongue's got a use or four, lass, and I'll be a right master of each.
Yeah, I'm gonna pretend like I didn't just hear that.
May Helia smile upon your endeavors.
Your coming is a favorable omen already. You happen by a time when our rivals bicker and tear at each other's throats. It does not take a priest to see how the gods send us an outsider to dig under the skin of our enemies. Save your manners for my sister. Kohopa fashioned me for the arena, not the court. I will not paddle around the island. My sister wants to know if you are as useful as you are disruptive. She trusts me to judge this. Akira, but I hear whispers that you visited the Hazanui's Adra lighthouse and survived. Too much has happened for you to waste words with the royal brother. From now on, you work with Onikaza as an honored guest of her rooftop garden. Only, be kind to her cats. If you have questions, the royal brother will hear you. My sister keeps a tight grip on Nekataka, but the filth of it drips down her palm and into the gullet. You have some knowledge of Nekataka already. They say you have explored the city beneath the city. Under our noses, I say, do foreigners smuggle contraband and pay the Raparu for their silence? How do they avoid the inspectors? Who is responsible? This cannot have gone unseen by all. Undercroft, a darker, more fetid layer of Nekataka, I say. Onikaza and I are the mind and heart of the city, but the bowels, these we cannot reach. At least Delver's Row is a stable target. The Crown has time to decide the next steps. Suspicions, but I had no wish to see them confirmed. When it comes to the dignity of the guild, the crown can compromise nothing. Onikaza will see their leadership disciplined, I say. Akira, I cannot. Onikaza and I both expect more from the guild, I say. She will not be pleased. Akira, but at least you returned to me in one piece. You are not the first agent I sent to the gullet, but you are the first to return. I say I would feel safe anywhere with Rauatai's sharpest weapon in my arsenal.
If you're trying to flatter me, stop taking notes from my brother the poet.
I cannot say that I desire to send you to worse places than the Gullet, but... does the name Ukaizo mean anything to you? Ikera, then the city's bowel hides more than I credit. Ukaizo was the home of the Huana before cataclysm and destruction wiped the island from the Deadfire. That is the story. Story or no, I make no secret that we search for Ukaizo. I do not share this lightly, I say.
Please, speak on. If it looks like I'm taking notes, it's because I am.
Should I leave this in the hands of someone I trust instead?
Me misbehave?
Our tribes are spread across many isles, but it is Ukaizo which binds us. Ukaizo, and the knowledge that we must return. To that end, a local cartographer secured a lead. A breadcrumb to a breadcrumb, I say. I sent an expedition to Matario Cozy, one of the Sanctuary Isles. They were to retrieve evidence of our lost homeland. They have yet to return. Before you go, the expedition, I have reason to believe they will not be returning to Nekataka. We found this at the palace doorstep, cut from the robe of the expedition leader. One mystery heaped on another, I say. Honesty is refreshing, I say, if cruel. Take care if you alight on Matario Cozy. My fear is that the island is sanctuary no more. Prepare yourself for a hard voyage northeast of Nekataka. Matario Cozy is nestled in the core of Rakuhu Islands, in the midst of a landmass that resembles a storm, like the fall of Ukaizo locked in time.
Don't mind me as I take down those coordinates.
Watcher, even if Ukaizo is a myth, Motario Cozy is old enough that it may contain some clue about why Eothas is interested in the Deadfire.
Hey, Cap, be reminding me to drop anchor at the next brothel we pass. Some things I aim to be given a try before you go getting us all good and killed.
A tepu, drawer of maps. I have nothing to sell unless you are needing something else. I recently had the pleasure to rediscover, if I am honest, one of the lost Sanctuary Islands. Our ancestors marked off specific islands across Deadfire as rallying points in case a great misfortune split up the tribes. Even they could not have guessed how important the Isles would become. Some thousands of years ago, volcanoes, storms, and quakes shook the archipelago. Any one of those do happen, but never with such ferocity or all at once. The Huana survived by taking shelter on the Sanctuary Isles to save our society, and not just any one tribe. Since those days, we have not found any of the old Sanctuary Isles. Ngati took some beneath the waves, taking whole tribes with her. Others were lost to time and forgetfulness. I am told that the Wahaki are protective toward the Isles, but that is their business. I was surveying the waters around an atoll when a storm dragged my ship off course. The waters were unknown to me. When a green fleck appeared in my spyglass, I unfurled my sail. The shore twisted around itself, confusing even this old navigator until I found myself at the center. I did not make it far up the beach before I spotted signs of habitation. Marking my coordinates and orienting myself by the evening sky, I made for Neketaka to tell the crown of my findings. Understand, the Deadfire was broken. The lives lost could not be counted, and more has been forgotten than may ever be remembered. Imagine how much history we lost in a single year, much less the millennia that followed. Whatever our people hoped for themselves, we may never know if we got it right or wrong. Death. I did not mean to frighten you. These islands have known great tragedy, and millennia have passed in cheerless silence. Should you land on a sanctuary isle, do not expect to find welcome. If we must. I will not deny curiosity. Go on, then.
Of course.
It is high time we spoke away from the exhaustive filter of the court. My children, Kahopa and Tangaloa, it is to them that I answer when dignitaries do not pound at my door. A messenger from the jaws of Tangaloa speaks with the voice of wisdom and change, I say. It is fitting that yours should be the voice that tells of Hasongo's fate. What did you see there? The snakes are on edge. Where comes this new boldness? Far be it for me to complain if they make trouble for outsiders. What availeth this? If If you know why he terrorizes the Deadfire, speak on. If Aethys makes for Magrin's teeth, I say the Rathun will grind him to dust for the praise of their warrior matron. Even if they fail, it will be an enemy cleared for my plate. This is the gratitude of Nagati, I say. The fiery children of Magrin devoted to their mother with a fanatic zeal. Bothersome, but the least of my troubles now. From Port Mage to Hasongo to Magrin's teeth, Aethys follows a rich vein of Adra. It takes him northeast to more interesting territory. In the deepest memory of the tribes, we have told stories of Magrin's teeth. Embellished sailors' fables, Akira, but not without some truth. My people speak of treacherous seas, lakes of fire, and the ancient warriors hammered to life on Magrin's anvil. Ashen Maw is the grandest and most accessible of the peaks. It is the sharpest tooth in Magrin's jaw. Prepare yourself for a fight. If you make preparations in Nekataka, I say we can help each other. I must keep the city's peace, and I have only so many arms and eyes. While the Deadfire screams, I would see Nekataka outlast the storm to come. What I need is a lasting peace that will outlive my dynasty. But I will accept peace of mind for now. What do you know of my water shapers, Herald of Bereth? You would have passed their guild on the way up the mountain, and their water-formed sculptures displayed around the city. My water shapers are the levy holding back Rawatai's advance. An adept standing at the prow of a war canoe is enough to send the fleet scrambling for the shallows.
Don't get too cozy, Highness. That false sense of security will get you into trouble.
Akira, I would not want your employers to think me easy prey. This reminds me. I owe the Hazanui a basket of koiki in remembrance of the Battle of Nakaroatl. Akira, you think so? I am counting on the Hazanui seeing through my condolences. While the problems of Aethys and overindulgent admirals plague these waters, I have summoned the masters of water shaping to Nekataka.
Pit your strongest water wizards against their weight in iron and black powder, Highness. We can end this quickly.
Akira, and how long will this contest last in open water? Now would be the time to confer with Guildmaster Myru, but she does not answer my summons. It is too early to grow a forest from this coconut, but I would not dispatch you if I felt at ease. The Guild can suffer no setbacks. If Myru shirks her duties, her queen would know the reason. Nagati, do not abandon us now.
Ahoy, Captain. What can I do you for? Oh, ask away, Cap. Aye, aye, Cap.